I'm sure. Yeah, slightly more on that. Okay, this vision had 3 components. One, and this is the most important one, and the top priority, addressing humanitarian crisis and protection of civilians. The second component is the ceasefire process, which meaning addressing the issue of stopping the war. And the third one is the political dialogue process, which is ending the war. Let me quickly address each one of them. When addressing the humanitarian and protection of the civilian, we need to base it on the following demand and issues that has to be addressed for it to happen. First, we need to have unfettered access, cross-border and cross-line, with a strong monitoring mechanism. Here we can benefit from previous experience in Sudan, like the Operation Lifeline Sudan, which happened under war. There was no ceasefire, but they were able to provide assistance. Second, protection of the civilian, R2P, as an instrument. We need to actually, I must say here, we're very much disappointed with the recent report by and it's not only us, most of the world, of the Secretary General report to the Security Council, which fell short of saying anything, excuses and all that. I think we have to work on R2P, think about enforcing a no-fly zone, safe zones inside the country, even to the point where we should boldly talk about bringing boots on the ground to protect the civilians. This is extremely important issue. Support community initiatives. We are very delighted in all this misery to see the Nobel Prize nominating emergency response rooms for the prize this year. Although they didn't get it, we thought this is probably the only institution out of the 4 nominated which has all the attributes and the characteristics that they could have. But the fact that they were nominated, it gave us hope and courage. And these are people working in an extremely difficult situation and environment. The fourth aspect is addressing the plight of the refugees, or refugees, particularly in the neighboring countries, living under extremely appalling conditions. And here there is no access issues, no border, no cross, nothing. All what is needed is a support that could reach these people. There are issues relating to the UN need to appoint, these are technical issues, a regional coordinator who could manage this very complex operation. And we appeal also to the international community to maybe fulfill their promises on the pledges. On the second aspect, which is on the ceasefire process, which is I will just quickly go through this, the issue of stopping the war. We think ceasefire has to be integrated as part of a whole. We cannot think about ceasefire as just a military issue. It is as military as political, and that understanding has to be firm there. It should be based on existing agreements and build on them incrementally, and also should have an effective monitoring mechanism using technology and all other things. The last and third aspect of this process, the political dialogue process, which is ending the war. And here I think number one, there is a need to uphold the ownership of the Sudanese of the process. You cannot expect us to own a process where we're not part of it. The best design process, which is not participatory and people are not consulted on it, will not see the light. It should be inclusive, create wide front against the war, and emphasize the role of community groups, particularly civil society, grassroots, tribal, religious leaders, women groups, youth, and all that. The role of the international community, we think all these issues, we would like the international community to work with us on them and put pressure on the belligerents on that. And we hope that here we are in Chatham House in UK as a pen holder to work with us on all these things I've outlined, whether it is R2P or no-fly zone or safe havens and all that. And we have huge expectations on this. Finally, we put forward the mechanism to address this, and our proposal in Taqaddum, which is a round-table conference. This is not a new idea in Sudan. We had it in the 60s after October Revolution. We're not wedded to the name. Can you call it Sudanese dialogue? You call it any name, but it is a proposal to bring together the widest front possible to address these issues. Expected to, the only two maybe issues that we think we need to agree on is that people against the war and for democratic transitions in an environment where now we have two camps. People who were calling for peace and ending the war, and those who are calling warmongers and calling for the war and destruction. So the choices are very clear. And as I said earlier, this is called for a unified platform, preferably in the current environment under the African Union, but with other tracks feeding into that. I will stop here and thank you very much for the reading. I think I exceeded this a few minutes. Thank you.